Surprisingly not. I've always been told to keep going. I actually have more people supporting me, and if the people who are speaking negatively, it's something that's probably background noise, something that doesn't reach my ears. What inspired me to start my creative journey is just being inspired by my surroundings and passion for what I do. I'm very passionate about culinary arts and food, and it all started when I was young and I would watch cooking shows. It was just so interesting to watch people on TV just doing what they're doing, speaking while cooking their food. So it really inspired me to start my cooking page, where I get to showcase my art through food. So what inspired you guys on your creative journeys?
For your point there, I want to applaud that you're brave. Because as for me, I can't watch a TV show where they're cooking because I feel like I'm gonna watch them cook. The food is gonna look tasty, but I'm not actually even gonna eat it. So I'd rather not watch it all. So you're brave.
Adding on to what you said, it's just so funny having to watch and you just don't get the chance to taste, but you'll just be tasting in your mind.
Exactly.
what it could, taste like.
Okay. So for me, basically, I grew up being someone where everyone was looking on me. I don't know how it happened. So this pushed me, it gave me a drive to be a step ahead my peers. So everything that I would do, I would try by all means to be a step ahead because there's always someone behind me. So I grew up being a leader. So by being a leader, in my mind, it opened my mind and I said, no, in my life, I have to be a bigger person. Not big, but a bigger one. So this pushed me to think out of the box and see everything and look at, given a certain situation, I would just look on the problem and say, what's the solution? That was my main concern. So this pushed me out of the box to think about other things to save and correct where there's a wrong thing. So this is where my journey started.
Wow, nice. So it started in the mind.
It started in the mind.
Exactly. If you read the Bible, you will see where it says, be transformed by the renewal of your mind. So I think everything you're going to start is going to start in the mind, because perhaps if I had transformed my mind somehow to watching cooking shows, I could be like, hey, that's actually good. And thinking outside the box, not just thinking in that tiny little box, right?
Mm-hmm.
Impressive.
And also with my cooking journey and my creativity through food, social media is the best place to, because it's both free and you reach a wide audience.
Yeah.
So having to show your art in that way, you get to reach so many people around the world. Yeah.
That's dope. Social media, you mean like Facebook?
Instagram. Yes.
Wow. I think I'm gonna learn that for myself.
Alright, so this is about this. You talked about how you started,
Yes.
what inspired you to start. But now I personally want to know, because a lot of people have inspiration, a lot of people are motivated, a lot of people have friends who are creative and they want to try, but those people are not Faye, they are not Brian. So what keeps you going till today? What do you use to motivate yourself to keep doing and to keep growing your work? Because I assume that the Faith who started, when did you start?
I started in 2018, in November of 2018.
Wow.
That's when I started hosting it. So it's almost 2 years.
It's more than 2 years.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I assume the faith who started is not the same faith I'm with right now.
No.
So a lot of things
Evolving.
evolve and change. So what keeps you going?
I think what keeps me personally growing, everybody's different, right? But what personally keeps me growing is just the hunger, the passion to do it. And loving what you do. If you don't love what you do, there's literally no point in continuing. So when you love what you do and you're passionate about it, it keeps you going every single day. So I think that's what pushes me the most. And also another thing that keeps me going is motivation. When you feel motivated, there's internal motivation, which is my passion, and there's also external motivation, which are the people around me. People giving me constructive criticism, what I can do better. That's also another external push that keeps me going. What about you guys?
And it's obvious that people that have been like trying to influence you negatively or trying to look down upon you, or maybe saying, I think if you stop cooking this, it actually doesn't work. How do you get over those people?
Did you ever have people saying that you should stop, or like what you're doing is not good, it's bad?
Surprisingly not. I've always been told to keep going. I actually have more people supporting me, and if the people who are speaking negatively, it's something that's probably background noise, something that doesn't reach my ears.
It doesn't reach your ear, or you just ignore it because it's different.
Okay, I understand that. I think it's just something that doesn't reach my ears. I probably don't know about it. But I'm surrounded by positive people who support me, positive forces, and also people who give constructive criticism. When I feel like giving up, there are people who are like, no, remember why you started. You started because of this and that, so you must keep going. And criticism can be negative and it can also be positive. Yeah. For the betterment of what you want to achieve.
I just thought about something. You know, we always complain that black people, they don't support, they don't encourage. But there's also a good part to that. We don't express our feelings. That means even when we don't like something, we don't say it. So we don't hate in public. So even when you have haters, because you say you don't have people saying that what you do is bad.
Yeah,
or
if they
stop
do, it's probably
altogether.
far away.
So I think it's in some way a good thing. They don't hate in public, because
It's private.
I'm 100% sure that people hate sometimes, but they don't have the courage to just expose themselves and to say, no, I don't like this thing, or something like that. The same way they don't support. So this is the I would say the good part of that bad habit, because it's a bad thing not to support our friends and our brothers.
Yes.
It's a very bad thing. You guys should support. And by the way, you are watching since when did we start this thing?
I feel like we started 3 years. 3 years.
You are watching every day. You don't like, you don't share, you don't comment. Please do something about that.
And it's all free.
It's all free. Best platform.
I mean, we are meeting here every day, planning, recording, doing stuff, and we just want you to like and to comment. You don't do that. Please support. Please.
Well, I feel like when she was supporting those people that were cooking on the television by simply watching, perhaps by supporting, you're actually building your own brand, but you don't know about it. It starts with supporting. We rise by lifting others.
That's where your blessings begin, by supporting others. You never know where your blessings come from.
Exactly. And how is your journey going?
Okay, for me, honestly, if I'm to talk about my journey, it's now in your mind, because everything that I do, it's about the growth of the mind, firstly. So for me, my journey, actually, it was a bit difficult, a bit hard, Like I
Just a
started.
bit or very hard? I want to know.
Okay, for people in their eyes, it was easy, but for me it was very hard.
70% hard.
Not 70%, 99.40, 99.439. Yeah.
It was hard.
It was very hard, it was very difficult. So why was it hard? You know, I'm someone who like mixing and being everywhere, you know. So some people, they would say, this is the wrong thing. No one likes to see you everywhere. People, they have their own vision, their own opinions. Like, why are you always in everywhere? Why are you associating with this person? Why are you in this business? Then you move, you're in this business. So I just said to myself, whoever who doesn't want to associate with me, please don't associate with me. So from that time, a lot of relatives, a lot of friends, they started hating me because I was now doing my things according to what I want. After that, speaking about the support that you said, when I started my first business, I was in high school, 2014. Right. So when I was 2014, I was at the school. I really needed money because I'm a sportsman. I wanted to buy my sports kits, everything for sport, but no one could afford to pay that for me because the kits that I wanted were expensive. I couldn't ask that money from my parents and everyone. So I needed money, like really needed money. So what did I do? I checked and I saw that the school where I was at Gogomere High School, there was no someone making the school IDs. The school would go to town to design the school IDs. And I said, no, I can do this. I took one school ID. The whole night I was on my laptop trying to figure out how did they do it. That was my first successful mission because I managed to design that thing. So now the point was like, how now do I make money from this? I now know how to design, but I need to make money.
Yes.
So now it came to the mind where I said growth of the mind. I had to think and see how I can convince the offices for them to like my product that I designed in one night. Understand? So it was so difficult. I had to go through a hard channel, through the sports channel, and do this senior masters until the debut of the school.
Wow.
You understand? So they didn't allow cell phones at the school, but I had my cell phone. And I was making those school ideas with my cell phone. Everyone who is watching, who knows this story, please put a comment. So I started taking pictures. People were not allowed to go to town without the pass, but I would go, and the teachers would know that. Okay.
Now exposing.
Yeah, I would make the best product, the best school ideas. This is where I started. So on every school ID, I would make sure I have an abnormal profit. Guys, I'm not saying you must do abnormal profits. This is my own mission. So this pushed me and it showed me that everything is possible in life.
Yeah.
I started a business that people use a camera only by using a phone.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of money. Everyone was going to sports, to even debate clubs, everything. They would do their school ideas through me and they were paying me. This motivated me a lot until I started doing other businesses for designing, selling t-shirts. Talking about support, you guys, you were talking about support, saying black people, we don't support each other and all that. 45% I agree with you.
45.
Yeah, 45%.
So you disagree more
I
than you agree?
disagree more than I agree.
Okay, so basically you disagree.
Yeah, I disagree.
Okay,
So
why?
why do I disagree? For me personally, as I told you that I believe in mind growth. If you see even here in Russia, the first thing I did when I arrived in Kursk here was to make links with everyone. So I believe when you want support, you have to look on your target market. Who are you targeting?
That's true.
Those are the people who you have to focus on. If you focus on those people who you want, it's better to have 50 people that pushes you to your goal, your target. So my point is, grow in your mind, look on your target market, force them. You need to force them until if they don't want your product, they have to go. You have to make them know that this is your product and you want them to buy your product. You convince them to like your product. Every person out there is looking for money through the same way you want. So if you're just sitting and say, Blacks, they don't support. I know of a lot of people who have business, but I've never seen their advertisements. I just heard by someone saying, he's selling this, because he's not targeting me, so how can I support? I don't even know he has something.
Wonderful.
And you have to show that you
Yeah.
believe in your product.
Exactly.
And what better way is if you promote yourself. But if you sleep on your talent, then how are people supposed to respect your work?
If you target someone and make sure you keep them close, even if they don't want your product, they will support you one day. He buys my products, you buy. Some people they buy, even if they hate me, but me, I love you because I love you, not because I want my business. Because you want my business, I love you guys.
So how can you define or describe like your life on a daily basis?
Wow, my life on a daily basis, guys.
How many businesses do you run currently?
Okay, currently I don't run businesses. I run one business, but I have partnerships in many businesses. I have partnerships in 5 businesses. So this is my strategy. I told you in the first that people were saying you are always in many different businesses. I learned also from people. You have to learn from people. Don't be affected by negative comments. People were saying a lot like you're touching this, you're touching this. That's why you're not going far. So what did I do? Mind growth. By mind growth now you look, I want to achieve this. I have a greater vision on this. Also, I have a greater vision on this company. Also, I have a greater vision on this company. So how do you get it now? You can have many ideas, but you can never focus on many ideas at the same time. So the best way to do, if you see that you like many businesses, it's better to find people to partner with. The person you partner with, maybe that's his first business. So he's gonna put maximum effort because you also want to succeed from that business. This will also push you, you understand, to remember that business. Because if you don't have someone who push you as well, you might forget and concentrate where you are getting large incomes, but you are forgetting your customers who want the other product. So for the businesses that I run, I have my business partners. I know even right now when I'm here, the business is running. That's how I operate. And that's how I keep on moving and keep on managing to have many businesses at the same time.
Okay, so you have partners. They run the business when you are not there, so to say. And you have your own business that you run yourself. That's one. And you have 4 partnerships, if I clearly understood. Okay. But you also have a YouTube channel.
Right, for YouTube, this is out of these businesses that you saw. YouTube is under my own personal. This one I'm free to tell you. It's called F-Filter Investments. Under this F-Filter, me every day, whatever I see, I put it into my mind. And I think how it's gonna be interesting to someone. Because everything that I see, if it's making me sad, I chill and I say, no, this was boring. How can we make this sound good? So when I'm now home, I'll be thinking about how to show people this idea to make it being something meaningful, something interesting. So I design animations. You're gonna be seeing them very soon. I've been working on many projects. So even some things that you even said to me in life, I put it into the animation. In the sense, that's how I live and how I become more creative day to day. So every day in my life, I make sure that whatever that happens, it's either I take it to the animation or I take it into my mind and I push it to the growth of my mind.
So you learn from everywhere and from everyone, and then you try to implement that in your business or in your animations.
So when we're talking about business and animation, it's two different things. As I told you, this is under a filter investments. Don't confuse. This section is all about entertainment, media, and design. It's apart from all these businesses that we're talking about, those 4 types of businesses. So when we're talking about these businesses, if someone comes to me, anyone that has a certain opinion that I like, I listen to people.
If you like the opinion.
Okay, even before I can't say if I like, because sometimes someone comes, I have to listen first and see if I like something. But my main point is I give people time. When I have time, when I'm free and someone wants to talk to me, I prefer to listen to everyone. Even if I know that I know better than that person, you can't know everything. There's something that someone knows that you don't know.
Always.
So I listen from a lot of people. I learn a lot of ideas. I always watch a lot of videos, a lot of speeches, because I have to learn also from other people. Even the people who learn from me, I also listen to them that they don't know.
What about you? How is it to be you on a daily basis?
On a daily basis.
Your creative journey.
Okay, so what I do is in my free time I'll brainstorm. But also, in order to be more creative, sometimes I feel like it's spontaneous. Sometimes it just happens naturally. It's not something that I plan. I could be randomly listening to music and then, boom, an idea just pops from nowhere. So sometimes it's spontaneous. Yeah.
And at that moment, how do you do? Because personally for me, this question is for me.
Okay.
Because when I have ideas, I have to write them down because I don't know how to implement them like right away. I have to think about it, I have to find links, connections, and like, okay, what am I going to do afterwards? What if this happens? How am I going to do this? So I always overthink stuff and I end up like procrastinating or like delaying because I will do it for sure, but later on I might take a day or a week to think it through and then come out with a perfect plan, so to say, to implement. But how do you do to like get the idea and just create? Like, how does it go?
Okay. Some people write it down in the form, like written format. I will write it down in my memo because it's easily accessible to me. My memo in my phone, and then after that I plan and I do my research, thorough research with my idea. And then after that, I end up polishing it, and then I reach my final product.
How long does the process take?
Sometimes it's actually very short. Sometimes it's not a long time. It can even take within a day, a few hours. Just like with a musician, when a musician is writing a song, some musicians don't even take days or weeks. Sometimes it takes an artist a few hours to write a song, and then of course the producer of the song will have to polish it and make sure that it's perfect, so it will take them a long time, but for me it doesn't take a long time. Yeah.
Alright. And
It can take a short period of time.
You go just by inspiration, like okay, you are just chilling, you are having your normal day and you get the idea, then you write in the memo and you go from there. Or do you sometimes force yourself to produce, like whether you have an idea or not, but you want to try something?
I don't believe I force it. I don't believe in forcing things. Yeah. I feel like if you're forcing you believe in forcing things.
You know, sometimes we have this misconception of creativity. Like with most of the time, people think you need like you will sit or you will just walk in the park, and then the idea will just come, and from there you have this business idea or this painting will come to your mind, and then you start drawing, and then boom, you get the perfect painting. You get the point. But when I start to learn from creators and creative people, most of them, and there are some people who just go by inspiration. But when you look at the best of the best, they have those time frame where they go in isolation and they take the time to create, like they force themselves to produce something. And usually what they use is like they set themselves a deadline. Okay, I have to create this by next week, so to say. And then during that time, idea will just be pumping out in their mind, and they'll take the time. Maybe they will say 1 hour a day or 3 hours every single day. They will sit down for 3 hours and they will write, or they will. You get what I say?
I understand.
Do you go like that? Like, okay, let's say every week I have to produce a new dish, or every week I have to try a new menu, or do you just go by inspiration?
Okay. After you said that, I think I understand it more better. Sometimes I go by inspiration, but relating to fooditude, I believe that there are different dishes that I have to produce in a certain time period, and I also go from like remarks of people, what people want. I also believe in giving the people what they want, because my business is a service to people. Like for example, I realized that I don't make many Nigerian dishes, and there are many Nigerian people in the community. So I believe that if I involve more Nigerian dishes, I'm able to cater to the majority, to cater to more people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it's a mixture of both worlds. Yeah.
You mean what you want and what people want?
Yes.
I mean, you should.
It's mostly about what people want.
Exactly.
Really.
Yeah.
Because
That's why you produce a service. It's for people.
You're serving people.
Yeah.
I see that a lot when I'm like writing scripts or something. I can have an idea. Perhaps that idea is good enough for me, but is that idea good enough for the people
For the people.
who are watching? Because at the end of the day, it's all about adding value to the people at the end of the day.
So guys, let us know what would you like us to be doing here, because maybe you are just creating stuff, you are just talking and they don't get any value from what you are doing. So let us know, comment below and let us know guys, help us serve you better.
I feel like a lot of people, right? We have many ideas, but our ideas, they don't make sense because you think in a way of competing with something that is already there. Of course, it's good to compete with something that is already there, but it becomes wrong when you don't put an effort to make your own side better than someone. You can start a business that Brenton is doing, but you have to put an effort to show us how unique you are. What makes you different from someone? Everyone has an idea, but what makes people different, firstly, is the effort. Secondly, is how you arrange your things. He said some people who are mostly successful, they set deadlines. Like in this period of time, I have to be done researching about 1, 2, 3, 4, and by this date, I must implement and start doing whatever that you are doing. But I've noticed that a lot of people, they had ideas before us, but they couldn't reach their goals because you just think like, I want to sell water. Then what? Who are you selling water to? How are you gonna gain profit from? You have to consider that. You have to come back always to the mind growth and think, okay, I want to sell this product. Who am I selling to? Why am I selling this? What's my target? Are you targeting a large market share just, or are you targeting maximum profits? Are you targeting a large profit? You understand? For example, if someone is just selling a simple product, you're selling phones, someone can just wait even in the streets and sell. He's getting the amount that he wants because that's what he wants. What's your drive? Do you want to be surviving or you want to be bigger?
Exactly.
You understand? So every day when you start a business, you have to come back to the mind and grow your mind and say, why am I doing this? I want to survive, or I want to be big, or I want to be bigger. So when you say you want to be bigger, guys, go out there in the streets, advertise your product.
Hustle.
No one will advertise your product if you can't stand for your own product.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it takes, either WhatsApp, VK, Facebook, Instagram, we want to see you guys
Exactly.
stand for your product, quality.
My question now is for those who don't want to be bigger, they don't want to be the biggest, they just want to survive. So what do you say to them? What's your advice for them? Those who don't, they just want to survive, they just want to compete, they just want to have a small profit.
They want to have something.
They just want to have something. They don't want to create a big change or
They just
change
want
the
to
world.
create
They
their
just
thing.
want to have a small business and run their thing on their own when they are free and get their small bag at the end of the month, and that's it. So what do you say to them?
For me, truly, on that, I can't judge, I can't say anything big. Why? Because everyone has their own drive.
Yeah, that's true.
It's either you are doing it for money or you're doing it for the love, just love, or you're doing it just because
Just to get by.
you just want people to know that you have something. You know, there are people who just do business just to be known like, it's a good business person. But if we look, show us what have you been doing? What did you get last month? They don't even know. They don't even come back to check their profits, their losses, their what. So I would say for people who want just for survival, if it's working for you, as long as you are not getting into losses and you are comfortable with what you are getting, why not?
In my
But for people who want to be big, of course, you have to go an extra step.
In my opinion, for those people that live their life that way and they want maximum success, what I can say is that I can say something small. In short, there's nothing good or there's nothing perfect or polished that can happen within your comfort zone. You have to go outside of yourself, outside of your thinking capacity, and you have to take risks. That's the way forward. If you want to reach maximum success and you're that type of person. Yeah.
But they want to be surviving.
They don't want. They don't want maximum success.
Yeah,
They
they
don't
just want
that.
to be comfortable, to be
I see.
surviving.
I guess everyone is different.
Yeah.
I guess everyone has a role to fill. Not everyone can be a CEO of a company. You also need
No, they are CEOs. They
Oh,
are
okay.
company. What do you mean by
They are only company.
But
Okay,
one
okay.
thing I can just say for the two,
Everyone is different.
those that want to succeed heavily, like Frank, and those that just want to get bread on their table. One thing I can just advise is that whatever you do, whatever the reason, just do everything wholeheartedly. And whether you're just doing it to be able to afford trips or just do it wholeheartedly. That's the only advice I can give. That just do it. But as for those that wants to get it big, every friend of mine knows this, that I always tell them that whatever you are starting, whatever business you're starting, you can start locally, but always think globally. I always tell my friends this. And now I'm telling you because you're my friend. Right?
What do you think about your own question? What do you think about these people that are just doing things just for survival, not targeting big, just doing for their survival?
It depends. For me, it always depends on the person, on the ambition, and on the drive. Because everybody, I personally believe that you cannot live small. It's not possible. It's a myth. Like people who say they want small, they are lying. Because they are the most bitter people in the world. There are those who are always complaining. They are always saying rich people are greedy. People who are happy are just lucky or something like that. So when people say they want to be small, personally, when I heard that, I'm like, what I get in my head is that I quit. I tried and I failed and I don't want to try anymore. That's how I get it. I want to be small, right? What is it in small? You cannot do anything. You cannot help people when you are small. You cannot help your family. You cannot have children when you cannot give the best to your children. Or create change when you are small. There's nothing good you can do when you are small.
Exactly.
When you want to be small, it means you just want to do things for yourself. And you are selfish. So being selfish is fine, but try to be the right selfish way. Like, I want everything for me. Like, I want to be big so that I can help more people. That's also selfish, but this is the good selfish, not the bad selfish. Like, okay, I just want to what I will eat and that's it. Yeah, so that's my take on that. But I'm not. What am I? No. I wanted to say I'm not here to judge people. I'm judging people, man. So you don't need to be small. You need to think big. You need to have bold dreams, and you have to try. No matter how many times you fail, people are here to help you. There are a lot of resources. If you can't do it alone, you can have friends. You can like borrow money and try again until you succeed. That's the only way. Being small is not a good way to go, because you try that and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't. You always be complaining and saying to, like, imagine I was talking with a friend once and I asked him, you don't want money, right? Like, money is nothing for you, but what if your daughter tell you she wants to study in Harvard? What are you going to tell her?
When you are small.
Yeah, when you are small.
Yeah.
What are you going to tell your children when they will ask you, they want to travel, they want to go to Paris for vacation? What are you going to tell them? It was like, no, if she knows I'm poor, if she knows I'm broke, she doesn't have to think like that. She won't ask me to study in Harvard. She will ask me for a bike or for something like that because she knows I can afford that. That's not the type of life we want.
Yeah.
We want you to seek more. We want you to seek growth. We want you to impact the world. So go big. And you are going to fail. So this is not something, if you fear failure, I'm here to tell you right now, you are going to fail. But it's more exciting to think big and to live a bigger life. And when you fail, these are just feedbacks you get. Like, okay, you have ways you can improve, you can do better. And with those feedbacks, you can now improve. You can now go and make it work the next time. So that's just it. This is what I think about it.
Okay, our time is up, but don't be afraid of failure, like you said. The person that made this bulb, he failed 10,000 times. So if he had quit in between,
imagine, you will be...
perhaps we would not even be having electricity. What for? So don't give up, guys. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in today. Okay, so please subscribe. Leave something in the comment section. Just tell us what you really liked. Okay, who was looking good today? Okay, just say either A, B, C, G. Who was looking good
Who was
today?
thinking good?
Yeah. Okay, who was thinking good today? A, B, C, D. You just say it. A, B, C, D. Who was thinking good? Just write the letter, either A, B, C, or D. And give this a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it this dislike. Do something. Either thumbs up or a dislike. And if you need any help of some sort regarding today's topic, just hit us up on our email address. I'm sure it's going to be on the screen here, or on our Instagram account. We'll be glad to help all of you.